Thank you very much for calling me Joe Patterson and not Jim Patterson. Appreciate that. Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. Happy Valentine's Day and a failure to all of us who didn't wear red. Let me be clear on my measure, AB 18. It creates no new crime, nor does it require any additional penalties, charges associated with selling or trafficking fentanyl. AB 18 will require persons convicted of or pleading guilty or no contest to trafficking fentanyl and various other opiates and narcotics to receive a written advisement that if a person dies as a result of overdose, the manufacturer or distributor can be charged with murder or involuntary manslaughter. We all know how lethal fentanyl is, but let's visualize it. This right here is a penny. Obviously, it's blown up to the size of my head. So you can see it, but this little amount of fentanyl is a lethal dose of fentanyl. The whole world has come full circle. When I was a legislative staffer myself, my former boss, Todd Spitzer, lost his former chief of staff to a drunk driver. The following year, he would team up with Assemblymember and Democrat Nicole Parra to enact the Ambrose Act, named after Steve Ambrose, his former chief of staff and an Orange County city councilman who had his life taken by a driver who was under the influence. But that law is starkly different than this proposed law. Today, every single person renewing their driver's license has to check a box indicating they're informed they can be charged with murder for killing someone while driving under the influence. In the case of AB 18, we're only talking about people who are actually selling and trafficking in drug that has no bona fide recreational use. Just like these existing DUI advisement provided to drivers renewing their license, AB 18 will give law enforcement with an additional tool to prosecute drug traffickers in our communities. It does not require a murder charge. The bill is titled Alexandra's Law and inspired by a young lady who was poisoned by this drug. Her father, Matt Capilouto, has been championing this legislation. Unable to get justice in California, the Biden administration took the case and prosecuted Alexandra's murderer. The federal government under President Biden has been stepping up and even issued a rare public health warnings. I appreciate that. The only reason why I have an idea what fentanyl even is because of one of my neighbors, teen Zach Didier, died from taking a fake prescription pill laced with fentanyl that he bought off social media. It's scary to say, but I have already warned my 10 and 8-year-old children about taking pills or candy from others. And my 2 younger children will get the same advisement from me. After publicly supporting the efforts of Zach's parents, I learned that my cousin's death was also due to fentanyl poisoning. As the author of AB 18, I want to make it clear, the goal of this policy is not to add punishment to the opioid-dependent person, but rather to ensure that the drug dealers and traffickers are held accountable. In fact, this legislation is only one of 4 pieces of legislation that I'll introduce. We have life-saving measures like Narcan in schools, and we'll be introducing legislation to educate parents of the dangers of opioids, as well as another piece on rehabilitation for people in prison. I want California to join the rest of the United States, including the Biden administration, and hold dealers and traffickers accountable for their actions. Today, I have Zach's father, Chris Didier, and Cindy De Silva, San Joaquin's Deputy District Attorney, to testify in support of AB 18. Thank you.